G'day guys, Chris here, the Ultimate Recycler in the emergency storage shed. Today we're going to get a fair bit of stuff off this shelf here. There's a blue vintage hard hat, there's an old tin, there's a valve radio chassis. We're going to get all these off today, make some space, keep the progress happening in cleaning out this storage shed. Let's get them through to the bench. Okay, it's a particularly chilly day in the shed today for episode, I think we're up to 182. So we've got to make some decisions on this stuff. I don't think it's worth much, but we're going to work out what we're going to do with it. Have a look at how we can sell it or whether we give it away. Not sure. We'll go and get that tin. Okay, the tin's quite light because it's empty. It actually has the top in it. So its only value is the fact that it's a vacuum oil company tin. You can see the logo of the flying horse there. It's a bit rusty around the other side, so we'll have to work out what we're going to do. I think I'll probably just clean it up with steel wool and soapy water. It'll look a lot nicer. Maybe spray it with clear lacquer. We should get, I don't know, we should get $20 for it at least in the shop. Depends how it comes up. So we'll check that out when we get to it. Okay, what do we got here? Well, this is a, looks like a fiberglass or early plastic. I think it's plastic. I don't think it's fiberglass. It's a hard hat and it's got a star on the front with CD, which and a crown. I think that's a Civil Defence Department, so it would date, I'd imagine, the 60s, because I think that became the SES, or the State Emergency Service, in the 70s. So basically it was just a volunteer's hard hat for attending to, well, I guess disasters or incidences where there would needed to be some sort of official control. Whether they were in a government employee, I'm not sure. It says signals, and it looks like there was a name tag above it. So, and Euroa is a small town not far from here in country Victoria in Australia. So obviously they were concerning communications, perhaps. It's actually in pretty good condition. There's a tag in here. It's called a safety hat, and it's got sizes. It was made in Melbourne by, I'll get a photo of this, Industrial Safety Services. And it's in, on the elastic's not much good. It's not elastic anymore. Oh, maybe it wasn't elastic. It's got a buckle. So that would probably still tighten up. So it's in remarkably good condition. Obviously, it never had a tree fall on this chap's head. Or if it did, it's even better made than I'm expecting. I think it's probably going to be like a $30 or $40 item. You wouldn't find too many of these around, particularly with the original logo on the front. I could probably leave those two labels there and the names. It's probably good that the name's removed. I don't remember where it came from, but it appears to be in quite good condition. You could probably still wear the thing. I won't put it on, but there we go. Interesting piece. Now this radio, I think it's a console radio chassis. So it didn't have a small case. It would have mounted in quite a large piece of furniture. And judging by this, I think it was a battery-operated radio set, which they often had, even on farms and things, they had them. So it's not going to be very much value. It looks to have, I don't know why all this space is here. Maybe it was a radiogram, and there was another part that sat next to it. It's got a big tuning capacitor. It still has valves in here. So the valves may be of some value. It's got one knob left on the front. It looks like there was a wasp's nest there. And underneath, oh, actually, it's hardly got anything in it. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Was it a radio? Or was it just an amplifier? No, I think it was a radio because it's got on the back, it says Stromberg Carlson, and it says super heterodyne, I think so he say it, and that was to do with radio frequencies and how the radios actually operated. Model 403. Look, it's not going to be, it's obviously incomplete. It's not going to be of much value. It's just going to be a parts donor unit, I would imagine. There are some valves in here, as I mentioned. In fact, that should come off. They're probably going to be fairly common valves. Oh, there we go. Okay, we have a number 41. Don't know what they are. I'd have to pull them out. That's number 77 Interesting valve numbers. I'm not sure I've heard of those ones before. So maybe I better check out to see if they have any value. Some valves can be worth a bit, usually amplifier valves. Oh, that hasn't been out for a long time. I won't pull the top off in case it breaks it. And I can't see a number on that one at all. Oh yeah, that's a number 77 as well, same as that one. And there's one in a can here. I will check out the values. The can is for shielding, I think. I'll check out and just make sure we don't have a rare valve here. I can't get it off at the moment. Looks like a filament supply of 6 volts for these valves. Anyway, I don't think it's got much value. We'll do some research on that one and I'll let you know. I'm likely to put it in the shop, assuming the valves don't have any real value on their own. I'm likely to put it in the shop for just $10. And I'll probably just chop this wire off. It's no good. They're just standard battery alligator clips. And someone may find it useful for parts. All right, so maybe 10, what do we say, maybe 30 on the helmet. And we'll see how this tin cleans up before I put a price on that. Let's go and get something else. Okay, we're going to make good progress today because there's a lot of stuff we can get off that shelf quickly. Here we have a box of light shades, so we'll check these ones out. And this top one looks to be perhaps an oil lamp shade. It would have sat on a frame with the chimney coming up through the top. So for a kerosene lamp or an oil lamp. I don't know if I'm going to need that. I can't see how it would be used any other way. Unless it was just a shade that had a gallery over the top. Maybe it does. Because it's rough around the top, I expect if that was a proper shade for an oil lamp, that would be properly finished. Whereas it's been ground and there's a little chippy. I think it had a gallery over the top and it was just a hanging shade. Because that's a better finish at the bottom there. So it's an older one. I think I should have a gallery to fit that at the shop. We might get about $10 for it. I'm not going to ask much for these. They're pretty hard to sell. Although this one will sell much better. This is a very Art Deco beehive light shade. Some of them had a removable lens at the bottom. This one's all moulded. It's actually been painted a light blue colour. And that's a bit chippy around the top as well. But that definitely had a gallery that went on there. And the light fitting and everything's just inserted in there. And that's a really nice Art Deco light shade. I would expect they used to bring $50 plus. I'll have to do a bit of checking online to see if they still sell well, but anyone with a house from the 1930s or 40s or even maybe 50s would love one of these. I guess they did get broken over the years, so I reckon that's a nice piece, probably the nicest piece we've found today. We'll give that a wash up and I'll check out prices on those. What else we got in here? Oh, another vintage one. Still got the light fitting in it, which is really of no value, but the shade itself is what's called cloud glass. It's a pink with basically a cloud effect on the inside. And that's quite a nice little shade too, a bit Art Deco, probably mid-century again. Not as much going for it as the beehive one, but that's probably going to be about $20. I might put a different cord on it and I can hang it in the shop. Very good. And what's done? Oh, here we go. A light fitting with the gallery. This is a Bakelite gallery. And that should suit. Let's see if it fits this one. Yep, it's the right size. So that's what this shade has. And it would also probably be the same size for the beehive shade. We do these screws up just finger tight. And there we go. So that's what that's for. I will put a better cord in that. I'll probably use that gallery. I'll hang it up in the shop. And we'll probably just go, say, 25 maybe. I'd get 10 for the gallery alone. So we might try 30. It is a vintage piece. I'll put a better cord on it though so that it's not going to let go. And that's all we've got in the box. What's in the bottom here? A few pieces of paper. Wash trough. Oh, it looks like a shopping list. Flooring, or a list of things to do from a long time ago. I wonder if all the things were done. There's a couple more bits of paper. These are interesting. Doors, 5-plane, 3-plane, waterproof, 2 glass top flooring, 80 foot of veranda. Maybe someone was renovating a house. The old handwriting. Sink, 4'6", bath and 2 soap holders, step ladder, 16 pair loose pin butt hinges, lanes lock. So definitely a shopping list for a house reno. The prices are in, looks like they're in shillings and pence, or pounds and shillings probably. Oh, and we have a receipt here. Gaffney and Sussex Streets, West Coburg. So that's in Melbourne. Timber and Trading Company. And I can't read that. It's something rope. And the date is 1955. So there we go. Which would suit about the era of, well, probably all those shades actually. This one could certainly be that old. The other ones I would certainly put mid-century. Don't think that's worth keeping, but interesting all the same. And from the bottom of the shelf, I'm sure many of you had spotted this. It's a cast iron. It's heavy. A cast iron, what's known as a water fountain, even though it's not actually a fountain. These were designed to hang on like a mini crane and swing round over your open fire so that you could boil water, and it could hang in the fireplace. Very big fireplaces back in the day, and you had a brass tap so that you could actually get a glass of boiling water, make a cup of tea perhaps. A nice old piece, original lid, which is great because the lids are often missing. That's really nice. A bit rusty inside. I'm not sure if it holds water or not. It'll probably be branded underneath. My guess is that it might be a Clark & Co. England, or what was the other one? Kenrick was another one. A nice piece. They used to bring a lot of money, like many, many hundreds of dollars. I saw one at an auction one time at a farm clearing sale, make about $600. I don't think they bring so much now, but it's a really nice old piece. The brass tap is damaged. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll move the camera and we'll have a look underneath, see if it is branded. Right, let's have a look at the tap first. I'm not sure what's happened to it. It actually looks like this has been outside somewhere and that was actually hit with a lawnmower or something. It's quite badly smashed right on the end, and it's a shame. It's definitely been an impact because it's not only cut through, but it's pushed the tap to one side. You may be able to see, I'll get a photo, but on the front of the actual tap part, there's a British registration diamond. So that dates it pre-1883 because they stopped using the diamond. It won't turn, it's seized up. They stopped using that registration diamond then and went to just a registration number. So it's a nice early water fountain, and we know it's English because of the registration diamond. Let's see if there's a brand underneath. I haven't looked yet. Oops. And it is branded. Oh, it's a bit pitted. Registration diamond again. I will clean this up with a wire brush, and I might oil it or something, or at least when it's wet we might be able to read it better. It looks to have a trademark there. I can't see anything that it looks like HO, but something in Sons, okay? It might not be the common ones. It might be something different. It's going to be quite a valuable piece, even though they may not bring what they used to. Oh, there's a little logo thing on the front here. And that says 5 gallons. And is it Holcroft and Sons? Wolverhampton. As far as the rest of it goes, I'm only going to give it a wash. It's actually in really good condition around the sides. I'm not going to go to too much trouble. I don't want to lose the old rusty patina. I could spray it with a clear lacquer just to bring it up a little bit, but I think I'll leave it as is. I'm even going to leave the tap as is because it's got the registration diamond on it. I don't have a replacement tap at the moment, and I think that entire thing unscrews, and there's a chance we could damage something if we try and unscrew it. Best left alone. How's the decoration just on the end of where the handle swivels? Very nice. It's a great piece. I don't know what I'm going to put on it. I'm thinking probably a couple of hundred at least for a start, but I will do some checking and we'll clean it up a bit better. Well, we've made a lot of space on that shelf out there. Time now to have a look at everything cleaned up and a look at the Notepad to see what prices we worked out at. The shade's washed up quite nicely, as you can see. The large water fountain cleaned up really well. All I did was wash it. I didn't want to go to any trouble with that one. I like to leave it original. I didn't even wet inside. I don't know if it holds water. It is a little rusty, a bit scaly, but it might be okay. But it's a magnificent piece and larger than some of them you find. 5 gallons is certainly a large size. The cardboard box is actually an old Rosella, probably sauce, or it says Pure Foods, but that's a nice old cardboard box from the 1950s. I think I'll put $10 on that. I've had success selling old boxes before. That's the best side. It's not in the best condition, but we should get 10 for it. Whoops. Now, this vacuum Kero tin, it's kerosene, Laurel kerosene. As you can see, it cleaned up pretty nicely. I was going to clear lacquer spray it, and then I thought, no, the rust will come back underneath the lacquer. So what I've done, you can see it's quite glossy now. Actually, it's not bad. It's not super glossy. And even the rusty sides, it'll actually dull off a little bit, still a little bit damp. Even the rusty side, you can now see the logo very nicely of Pegasus, a flying horse. Now, these kerosene tins were used a lot in early times, and they actually cut them open and used the metal, and I've seen sheds actually lined with them. So they repurposed these tins. They would have used them for all sorts of things back in the early days, even into mid-century. A lot of fridges ran off kerosene. So there were millions of them made, but there wouldn't be too many surviving in this condition. I have seen them with beautiful artwork on them. I don't think this one ever had it. I think they were just basically impressed with, does that side say, yeah, Vacuum Oil Proprietary Limited. Now, I didn't use a clear lacquer, as I said. I used this Penetrol, which is a priming oil, and it will penetrate right into the rusty areas and stop it rusting any further. So I thought that was a nice finish for it, rather than just a clear lacquer spray, and it's probably, if it spends time in a damp shed, it'll just go rusty again. So that should protect it quite well. I think we'll go 25 on that. Didn't take me long to do. The radio, I cleaned up a little bit. I checked all the valves out. There's nothing there worth a fortune. I did see some on eBay where people were asking between $10 and $20. I'm not going to worry about spending the time testing them, so I'll put this cover back on here and they can go with the finished radio. We will only put $10 on it, but I will snavel the knob. I'll collect the Bakelite radio knobs because I've got quite a collection of them, and sets of those will sell quite well down the track. It's pretty pointless just leaving a single knob on there. And I was thinking afterwards that it's possibly just the radio receiver part of the equipment, and it may have had a separate amplifier. If it did come out of a radiogram, obviously the part that plays the records has to go through an amplifier. I think they did have them as separate assemblies, so this may well just be the radio tuning section, possibly why it only has 4 valves. Anyway, we'll try and get $10 for it as a parts donor. And the Deco lampshade in there I didn't mention. I just put 50 on it. I found a few online. People are asking quite a bit, but I think 50 is still a reasonable price. So our list here gets a total of $470. I went $300 on the big water fountain. Look, apparently they're quite rare in the 5-gallon size, and I reckon it would have made double that 10 years ago, but we'll put it in the shop and see how we go. There we go. Quite a bit moved off the shelf this week. Some good return into the kitty and some interesting stock for the shop. A quick glance down in the storage shed now, and we've got everything off that shelf in one episode, except for that Sigma box and the other box on, what was it, a mango box. All sorts of interesting looking things in there. Something electronic. I can see some little crystal salt and pepper shakers in there. Lots of things wrapped up in newspaper. So we'll get to that one next week. That's going to be exciting, I'm sure. Then we can move this shelf, making more progress very quickly. And just before we leave this shed, Martin suggested I do my measuring stick trick again. So I've just stuck a broom handle out there. I can't find the stick I used to use. So that's around about where we're up to. Pretty well got a flat wall of goodies going back a bit of a distance. Let's duck outside and see how far of the shed we've got to go. So I don't know if I've measured the shed exactly. It's quite a long shed, as you can see. And there's our broomstick. So we've still got We've still got about 10 feet or so to go. There could be a lot of boxes in 10 feet of space because it's about 10 feet wide. So yeah, we've got a bit to go yet. And thanks for watching another episode, guys. We're up to, actually, we've just passed $36,000 on my list for what we've got out of that shed. I think we'll get to 40,000 pretty easily. There's still a fair bit to go. I did not include that Victorian era 1880s bird whistle that I had in the last episode. I've got it ready to put on eBay. I'm going to start it. I think I dropped the price on what AI suggested, but I still think it's a rare item. I'm going to advertise it on eBay worldwide, and I think I was going to start it at $2.95 or something Australian. We'll see how we go, but I haven't included that in here. If you want to know or want to follow my eBay, there's a link on my About section, but I'll also report as probably, well, if it doesn't sell at auction, I might leave it as a buy it now for a while, but I'll let you know down the track. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.